All right, Ethan, our man, what is going on?
Nothing much, just hanging out, ready for the game tomorrow.
Yeah, man, this is a weird thing for us. Usually, when we have a Wednesday night interview, we do not have guests having a game the next day. So we know we got to get this thing done, get it wrapped up so you can get ready for a big series coming up this weekend. And we'll get into that here shortly. But before we do that, man, we like to break the ice. So, favorite song right now, man. You're putting in the ear pods. What you listen to?
Fast Car by Luke Combs.
Luke comes that Randy, that's up your
Solid,
alley. That's up your alley.
solid.
So, yeah, it's solid. We listen to that a lot of times in the shower.
All right. Favorite baseball movie?
Little Big League.
Oh, yes. I love new
Solid.
answers. I love new answers. There's no wrong answer because there's so many good baseball movies, but I love new answers. And no one has said Little Big League yet. So
Awesome, awesome.
well done. All right. Last one, and then we'll get into your story, man. Who is your favorite all-time athlete? Doesn't even have to be baseball. All-time athlete.
Uh, this is a tough one. I would say Tom Brady. I mean, since he became a buck, I've been loving him because I'm from Tampa, so
Oh man. Well, that was going to be my first question, Ethan. For those that you just said it, you're from Tampa. So let me ask you, being from Tampa, our normal host is from Tampa. How many times have you been to Disney or Universal?
Disney only one time when I was 3 and Universal twice.
Really? That's
Yeah,
wild, man.
I didn't really get over the trip over there. I mean, it's a lot of traffic on I-4.
It's a lot of traffic. Let me tell you a quick little story. I was in Disney this past year. Our host DB came over and met me. This dude's been to Disney a million times, season passes, all that. And so he gets on the tram to come meet me at the kingdom, right? Gets on the wrong tram. Like dude's like lives at Disney, gets on the wrong tram. So by the time they dealt with traffic, got on the wrong tram, he didn't feel very magical by the time he got to me, man.
Oh yeah, he's probably stressed out from that traffic. It's bad.
Absolutely, man. But let's talk about you, man. Let's talk about family dynamics, man. Mom, dad, brother, sister.
Yeah, I got two parents. They're both married, and I got a brother that plays baseball at the University of St. Leo in Dade City, Florida.
It's awesome, man. So when did you start playing baseball?
Around 4 years old, my parents signed me up in a like a little t-ball league where everyone's swinging bats, about to kill each other by swinging all around each other. But started when I was about 4, and I started to get into a more organized league when I was like 5.
Yeah, no doubt. So I have a 4-year-old who plays t-ball, and I see the bat get swung more in the dugout than I do on the field. But it's wild, man. So was that the only sport you played growing up?
uh, During my middle school years, I played some football and some basketball, but I kind of called it quits once I hit high school.
Yo, Ethan. So a lot of baseball players will come on here, and that's normal, right? A lot of them say they play basketball because you guys are tall, athletic, built well. But were you any good at basketball?
I was pretty good. I mean, I wasn't like I wasn't as developed as I was now. I mean, I feel like I could play a little bit better than I did when I was in middle school, but I started every game, so I guess I was pretty solid.
Yeah, like you think you go out and hoop right now?
Not at the college level. Not like maybe at like a low Division 1 or low D3.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I don't even know if I can pick up in the rec league, so I got you there. So let's talk about travel ball growing up. Obviously, in Florida, it's really big. Here, it's really big. So what was it like for you playing travel ball coming up, and when did you start playing travel ball?
I started playing when I was about 8, and I played for a local team. And then I kind of got into playing with my brother because he's older than me. So I played up when I was about 14. We were playing with like 17, 18 years old. And then I went to the Ostingers, which I'm sure you've heard of, and I played with them and I played with them when I was about my sophomore year of high school, and I played with them until my senior year.
Speaking of high school, man, for those that don't know, what high school did you attend?
Cypress Creek High School. It's kind of a brand new one. It's about 5 or 6 years old. It opened up my eighth grade year. It was a middle high school, so I would be the manager my eighth grade year for my brother when he was his freshman year, and then I ended up playing there my freshman year through my senior year.
Man, that's awesome. This is going to take a second, so bear with me. And I know you know these, Ethan, but let's just read off some accomplishments. Sunshine Athletic Conference Player of the Year in 2022. First team All Sunshine Athletic Conference 2021. Second team All Sunshine Athletic Conference 2019. FACA Games Most Valuable Player 2022. Played in the high school All American game at Coors Field in Denver in 2021. That's a lot of accomplishments, Ethan, but I'm not done. In your career at Cypress Creek, you hit 402, 80 runs scored, 29 doubles, 3 triples, 12 home runs, 80 RBIs. Also had 46 career stolen bases, 32 of them your senior year. Man, you got some wheels on you, Ethan?
I would say I kind of knew the speed of the game at the high school level. But now coach is not letting me steal the bag as much, but
No, man. I feel like you should, man. With now the pitch clock and all that stuff, you should better time them up. You got to tell them, man. Wait, but not this weekend, Ethan. Chill out for this weekend. But I'm not even done. We're still in high school. As a senior, you're 5-2 with a 1.97 ERA, 60 strikeouts on the mound, 230 prospect in the 2022 MLB draft by MLB.com, 40th ranked player in the 2022 class by Prep Baseball, ranked the number 31 overall player in the class of 2022 by Perfect Game. Now, that's all a mouthful, Ethan. So just tell me, how cool was it growing up playing that high school, playing travel ball? I mean, that's a lot of accomplishments. How'd you get all that in?
I don't know. I just kind of played the game and had fun with it, and like just enjoyed every moment I was with my teammates and with the guys I've grown up with and my brother, and it's been great, and I look back on it every day, and I appreciate every single moment I had at that time.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about a moment. You're playing at Coors Field with all that talent. What's that game like, Ethan?
Oh, I can't even explain to you that adrenaline rush that you had when I got the very first play of the game was a ground ball hit to me at third base. So I mean, as a young kid, it was an experience like no other. I mean, you're at Coors Field, probably one of the nicest fields in
Oh, yeah.
MLB baseball, and I was enjoying it so much.
Did you make the play? You didn't sail it under the dugout or no, did you?
No, I made the play, yes, sir.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Of your high school seasons, man, which one was your favorite?
Uh, ooh, definitely. I don't know. It's either in between my junior or senior year. I mean, honestly, actually, my junior year because it was my last year with my brother.
No, absolutely. That's definitely a cool thing to have there. So obviously, Ethan, you raked at the plate, but clearly you could toe the rubber, do some damage there. When you start getting recruited, was it for a position player or for pitching or for both?
It was for a position player. That's it. And I just started hopping on the mound my senior year, and it kind of just worked out pretty well.
We've had a guy you probably heard of, Austin Riley, on here who did a little pitching, right? And he said he hated it, man. So did you love it or hate it?
I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I really liked being on the mound and being in control of the game, but I can't imagine the injury process that people go through with Tommy John surgery and all that. So I'm kind of glad I kind of just
That's funny, Randy. That's why he said he hated it because his arm hurt all the time.
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of veered off from that. So
Let me ask you this question. This actually came up in my office today. I got a guy that I work with. His daughter's boyfriend's going to go play college ball. And it was brought up to me. He's a great shortstop. Anyway, long story short, he says, man, and he played college baseball himself. So he says, man, I bet you that 90% of position players were pitchers in high school. You think that's true?
oof.
That's a big
Nowadays,
number.
no. Nowadays, no. But if you asked me about 5 years ago when I was playing at the collegiate level, I would say yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. So let's talk about it, man. Obviously, what were your top schools when you're choosing where to go to college?
Uh, I was actually originally committed to University of South Florida when I was 14, my freshman year, and I just at the time I wasn't on the O Stingers, and I didn't really go through recruitment process because USF's right in the middle of Tampa. I'm like first D1 offer. I'm 14. I'm like heck yeah, I'll take it right away. But
Yeah.
I kind of felt like it wasn't right. 16 years old when I turned 16, I kind of just veered off from that, and I called the head coach, Coach Mole, and I told him I was like, I didn't really go through the process I wanted to, and I just wanted to open it up, and I ended up hopping on the phone with Mark Kingston, a good FaceTime call, which was during COVID because you can't really meet with him,
Yeah.
and was a great call, and he kind of separated himself from others because he FaceTimed me. It was, he separated himself, and I was like, all right, this is where I want to go, and it was like nowhere close from anybody else recruiting wise.
So let me ask you a question. I actually got two questions. When Kingston FaceTimes you, man, what's his backdrop like? Is he like sitting in the recliner chilling? Is he like in his office with the South Carolina Gamecock logo behind him?
Yeah, he was in his office. Yeah, he was in his office.
He like went up there. It's like late at night. He wanted you to see how hard he was working. Like, man, I'm up here. I'm grinding for you. You can come to us.
Yeah,
I respect the hustle, man. I'm
Yeah.
down. So let me ask you this, man. You said that you committed when you were 14 years old. Now the rules have changed since then. Now you cannot commit until you're older. I think it's between your junior and senior year, maybe 16 years old. What do you think that rule should? You like that rule?
Oh yeah, I love that rule. I feel like people are committed a little too early and not really going through the process they need to go through, and just kind of they're taking the fun out of the summer ball games when you're younger. And I feel like now they can go out there and just play the game and not have to worry about getting recruited. While like now you wait till you're 16, 17 years old when you're developed. You're way more developed than you are when you're in eighth grade committing, when you're using drop fives in the 200-foot field. And
Yeah.
now you can see that 17, 16-year olds are nice and developed, and they had their fun, and now it's time to really focus and lock in and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, you talked about it, man. I mean, when you're 14 years old, what do you really know about life or about baseball? You just be a kid, right?
Yep.
So you talked about it. My last question for you, you talked about it that Kingston really separated himself from the rest. So ultimately, you choose South Carolina. That's worked out pretty good for both parties, I would say. But what was it specifically that he did? And I mean, you don't got to talk about, what he said, but like just how did he separate himself from I'm sure you had a lot of offers on the table.
Yeah, he was just more like he was almost welcoming. Like he was like super nice, and like he was like super in like he was my first call. Like it was probably an hour after I decommitted. So I was like, wow, I'm already getting a call. And he was super interested. And we went 2 weeks building a relationship, and he was just all about me. And I feel like all coaches are, but you could tell this one was different. And I know how he developed players, and he was actually a coach at USF when I was younger, and he kind of turned that program around a little bit. And I was like, all right, he's going to turn this thing around at South Carolina, and it's been looking good for us this year.
Yeah, it's amazing how many guys we talk to on here and how it's been about the coach separating themselves more so than the school and its prestige itself, right? It's the coach. And that's why, you obviously are committing to a school, but you're really committing to that coach as much as anything. And so, yeah, when they stand above the rest and they stand out and, they're speaking to your heart, it's a big deal. So you get to Columbia, what are the emotions like? Are you more excited or are you more nervous?
Uh, Definitely both. I remember my first at bat. I came on and off the bench, and I got a base hit, and like it was like 20-1, and I'm like, oh my god, this place is still going crazy. So I kind of felt you kind of feel the fans behind you, no matter what happens, and it feels really nice to be here and have an electric atmosphere like it is at Founders Park.
Yeah, no doubt. Founders is absolutely rocking, and I imagine that's where when we talk to a lot of guys and they talk about the nerves, they may not be nervous about the game of baseball, but when they get into that SEC ballpark and one as nice as y'all got, then the nerves kind of hit. You see
Yep.
that crowd there, and it's like, oh, okay, this is a little different.
Oh yeah.
But I gotta bring up something because Brock Wilkin, guest of ours, my boy talked to all the time. When I booked you for the show, he told me, he said, "That's my guy." He said, "That's the younger version of me." Now, Brock is the real deal. He just
Oh
he
yeah.
just set the Wake Forest home run record. But with that being said, are we taking it as complimentary, or is we saying, that's cool, Brock, but you know what? I think I might end up being a little better than you. Where are we at?
No, I think it's cool. I mean, I feel like we were born on the same day, just like 2 years apart, and we've been really good friends since I was about 15 when I was on the O Stingers and he was on the O Stingers, and we trained together a lot. And he's almost like a big brother to me. And I almost during my early high school years, I kind of replicated my swing to his so I could hit like him because he was. I mean, I used to watch videos of him all the time because he's just an absolute monster.
It's
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah, y'all drop bombs the same. As a matter of fact, when he came on here, I had no clue that his dream school was LSU. And obviously you see all the LSU stuff behind me. And when you just look at his career, I'm like, man, I'm actually kind of pissed off that you didn't get an offer and you're not at LSU, but it is what it is. So speaking of previous guests, we had Will Sanders come on here before the season, and he said, let everyone sleep on South Carolina. A lot of people were not believers coming into the season that y'all were going to be a real contender. He listed off a stack of dudes, whether it was pitchers, whether it was hitters. You were obviously one of those guys talked about. He saw one in the fall. Coming into this season, did you like that people were doubting your team?
Yeah, and I feel like we've gotten away from that a little bit, and I feel like we got to play as the underdogs because that's when we've played the best, and it has shown that we could be one of the top contenders, and we're in a tough spot right now, and I know we're going to bounce back, and we have a huge weekend this weekend, and I'm so excited for the team to bounce back this weekend.
Yeah, and you do know that Randy there is a Tennessee fan, so he's rooting against you. So
yeah, I mean,
not you.
You already gave you already gave my team enough damn trouble, Ethan. All right, what I'm saying, like Jesus, like I'm so glad we didn't have to play you for a game 3. I might have been the only LSU fan, Ethan. Randy will tell you this is realistic. I had all my boys talking about, oh, they got lucky, ducked us for game 3. I was like, man, get the hell out of Columbia, man. I don't want to be there anymore. I was
yeah,
like,
I mean, yeah, game 2 we were 4 outs away from being 2-0. Yeah, it was a close one.
but you were having no problem punishing
Put
us.
you on the map, man. I mean, in a lot of people's minds.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Did you expect with that, with what Randy just said, did you expect to, man, just be this successful and be this known, your freshman season? Everybody like believes in themselves, right? That's not what I'm asking, but I mean, like he said, like everybody knows who you are.
I honestly did not. Like I said, I didn't get to start opening day, and I had no position to play. And my defense at third was very, very average, if not below average, and I couldn't hit. If third baseman that can't hit, then it's like, okay, he goes 1 for 27 in preseason scrimmages with like 17 strikeouts. Then it's like, okay, I mean, we can't start him obviously, no matter how good of a kid he is, or we need guys to produce. And I got my at bats off the bench. I went 2 for 2 off the bench with 2 laters of the middle, and I got my first start game 3, and I ended up hitting a homer in game 3 of my first game. And I'm surprised by it because I'm like, I only hit 1 home run in the fall and spring scrimmages. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it's my second home run here. So it was just like, it was very surreal, and I'm grateful for it every day that I get the opportunity to play at South Carolina.
Yeah, no doubt. And it absolutely worked for you, man. Obviously by the time you got acclimated and you're playing SEC ball now, like you said, coming into last weekend, but you're batting 378 with 21 home runs, 68 RBIs and 47 runs. You've been named the SEC Player of the Week, the Freshman of the Week, your Perfect Game Midseason Freshman of the Year watch, Golden Spikes Award midseason watch, Collegiate Baseball National Player of the Week. So, I mean, obviously accolades just like when Randy was reading off in high school. So, performing at this high level, how do you keep yourself, I guess, leveled out, right? Like, don't get too caught up in yourself. Realize, you're still a freshman. You got so much to learn. You're playing in the hardest conference in baseball. How do you keep yourself leveled, grounded, or should I say?
I've been getting away from that recently, and I've been kind of trying to get back to it where I was trying to do too much for the team when we were getting some tough breaks, we're losing some games, and then I started pressing at the plate, and and I've been having a rough couple patches these past couple weeks, and I just got with our coaches, and I just got to stay level headed and stay the course and just like compete my butt off like I have been, and just like think as myself as good as I am, and look at everything I've done, and I just gotta keep doing what I'm doing. And last night I had a pretty good night, and it was a good deep breath. I know we lost the game, but our offense scored 9 runs with 8 hits and 3 home runs. So like it was a good look for us coming into this weekend.
Yeah, no doubt. So, I got some questions. Obviously our lead host wasn't able to make it. I told you they just had a baby. So, him being the South Carolina guy, he had some questions that he wanted me to ask on the South Carolina segment. coming into this series, is there added pressure being that, y'all have now dropped a couple series and, it's coming into the final and, y'all are fighting for a regional host and everything and your positioning in the SEC East? Is there added pressure or is it just always business as usual?
I feel like the team thinks it is business usual, but our fans are getting added pressure and they're freaking out a little bit. But I feel like they should just trust us and trust what our coaches have done for us all season. And they got to look back in what we did. We swept Florida. I mean, we beat you guys on a Friday night against Skeens. It
Like I
was
said,
like
I owned it. I feel like you had game 3 on us. If we finish that out, y'all, I think y'all take that series. I firmly believe that.
yeah. I mean, yeah. It was a great series. I mean, y'all have a fantastic team. I mean, as you can tell. I mean, you guys. I know you guys lost the last 2 series, but that Auburn team is darn good, and they're forced to be reckoned with. They kicked our butts
I
in
mean,
Columbia.
teams don't get in the SEC for nothing, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
there's no off weeks really. So your coach went on record saying the injuries that y'all present, no rush, bring anyone back until postseason. So talk to me about that. You were just talking about the fans, them having to understand, right? Like you guys are thinking long term, and if you lose some games along the way, just like you were talking about, it's all about what you do in the postseason. It's all about being healthy. It's like that in any sport, not just baseball. So, like, I mean, for you guys, like I think it's a tremendous opportunity, right? Because other guys get to step up, next man up, get some growth. It gets a chance to bring the team together, especially if you can rally and get these wins with the guys missing. So, just talk to me about that. Your coach talking about that, how y'all are having to just deal with these injuries and know that it's a long-term game.
Yeah, it's been a grind. It's been a real grind. We've had multiple guys come in different spots. I mean, we've only had 2 people that played every single game this year in the lineup, and that shows the diversity of the team. And we've had one of our big superstars out, Braylon Wimmer, who's elite defender and elite hitter, and he's kind of was our captain of the team, and he's been supporting us on the bench, but we've been handling it not the best, but we're sticking together and we're trying our best to figure out how to win, no matter what we have, even with the pitching side of things too. I mean, we've had multiple people go in the Friday night job and the Saturday job. It's like it's just a grind with us right now.
Yeah, because me and Randy and Daniel, who's not here, we're not casual fans. Like we're big fans of baseball, and we get what your coach is saying completely because we know we've seen what your team has done when fully healthy. So it doesn't matter what park you're playing at. It doesn't matter what seed you're at. A South Carolina team healthy is a team that I don't want to play personally. So like and that's the thing. So he wanted to know for you, what was the hardest environment in the SEC you've had to play in so far, you think?
Fan wise, Arkansas. Uh, just playing wise was Kentucky.
Interesting. Yeah, no, our Arkansas is usually gonna give you some trouble fan wise. They're pretty loud. I know Texas A&M Bluebell usually gets a lot of answers. You obviously didn't have to go to Baton Rouge to the box, but yeah, solid answers. Kentucky, we don't get to, that's a Randy. Do we ever usually get Kentucky as a
No, but there's a reason why their record's so good at home, I guess.
yeah, no doubt. They actually do have a standing
Not a
home
place
record.
you want to be at. It's just great field, very nice facilities, but I mean, they're it's just like you feel like you're just the game is dead. It's almost like it's just like you feel like you can't get anything going in that stadium, and it's just like you can't feed off energy off the fans. So you're kind of feeding energy off yourself to your teammates. So like you're just dead the whole game if you can't get anything going.
Yeah, no doubt. So, with that founders, we talk about, what, gimme, was it, and it may have been LSU that you had already mentioned or somebody other thinking, what was the most electric atmosphere that you've had at home in your home stadium?
Mm. Just the whole Florida series when we swept them.
And
And we run
we don't like Florida around here, so we're all for that day.
yeah, we
Absolutely.
we run ruled them Friday night and then took the series Saturday and that sweep Sunday. I don't think I've ever heard a stadium louder than that.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, last question, then I'll let Randy play a game with you. So, everyone knows you have what it takes to make Omaha. We've talked about the injuries, we've talked about coaching, everything. You know, final thing, what has been the message from coach going into this weekend to prepare you, for what you need to do, knowing what's ahead?
Just stay gritty and stay the course and kind of just have fun. Like act like you're playing like a kid again, and don't worry about what we can't control, and be good where your feet are, and control what you can control. And we can't control the injuries. We can't control if we give up 4 runs. We can't control if someone strikes out. But just be good where your feet are, and
Randy,
just
I was gonna say, Randy, how many times have we had guys on here, and then I'll let you do the game, that sometimes it's as simple as just remembering it's a kid's game and having fun, right? It seems like the easiest and simplest thing, but it's not always hard to do because of the pressure. But a lot of guys have said they've had that success, the most success, when they've just remembered that it's supposed to be fun, it's a game, and go out there and not let the pressure bother them. And then, man, the results always end up speaking for themselves.
Oh, absolutely. Such a mental side of the game. I think Michael Jordan said it best. It's 90% mental, 10% physical. Control what you can control. I like that. But listen, enough about that stuff, Ethan. It's time to play a little game. Are you down?
yep.
All right. So the game is simple. It's this or that, right? I'm going to give you 2 options. The only rules are you cannot say neither and you cannot say both, right? So
Okay.
we're going to start you off with pretty easy one, right? If you could pick, if you could had a time machine. No, wait, we done changed it up. If you had a time machine, would you go into the past or the future?
Past.
What would you change?
I wouldn't change anything. I just want to relive those days. They were great days.
Look, I read them off. I read off those stats, right? You look like you had a. Would you play Coors Field again?
Oh heck yeah.
Heck yeah. All right, man. The next one. Would you rather be the strongest and fastest man alive or be able to fly?
Fly.
Me too. But where would you fly to? Like you could fly somewhere right now. Where would you go? Don't say
Somewhere overseas.
I love it. I love it. All right, man. This is gonna get a little silly, but I love it. Would you rather be trapped in a romantic comedy movie with your enemies or a horror movie with your friends?
Horror movie for sure. I love horror movies. I love the feeling of that adrenaline run.
Okay, let me ask you this. This might get you on the hot seat. I'm not sure. So, somebody always dies in a horror movie. Of your group of friends, who's dying first? Is it you?
If it has to be me, then it's gotta be me. But
You taking one for the team?
oh yeah.
I don't know. You're kind of a big guy, Ethan. I don't know.
Since Randy, since he said he loves horror movies, I got a side question. So Ethan, we once had a softball star just recently come on here, and instead of asking with the female athletes, instead of asking favorite baseball movie, we ask them what their favorite movie is. Is it a red flag for you if a woman's favorite movie is The Conjuring?
No, I like that movie.
Yeah, he would love it. He would love it.
I'll definitely watch it.
Well, she's taken, but look her up. It's at Kenley Hawk. But anyway, so all right, if you could pick either or, right? So would you rather go to your favorite concert or your favorite sporting event?
Favorite sporting event.
All right, what would it be? We're talking Game 7. What are we talking? World Baseball Classic. What is it?
Oh, Game 7 of the World Series.
Any particular team? Would it be were you a Rays fan?
Oh yeah. Diehard Rays fan.
Would y'all take out a guy like that was just throwing a no-hitter in the 5th inning or what? No.
Too soon.
I'm sorry, man. So look, our other host, he is a big Rays fan too. None of us root against the Rays, right? They're always lovable. We definitely have some fun though. All right, man. This is tough. Better bombs, you or Cole Messina?
You said better bombs?
Better bombs.
I would have to go me, but Cole Messina does hit some moonshots.
I would agree with you. I would go you too against a lot of guys, not just him.
I feel like, Randy, the answer to any guest that we've asked it to should always be themselves. I would always pick myself, even if I didn't believe it.
Yeah. I'm gonna say I love the kid to death. But
Simo did not pick himself Monday. He did not. He picked Blake Burke.
But it's Blake Burke too, though. I give him a little bit of.
I'm still picking myself. All right, man. This next one's a little bit tough, man. I'm gonna see if you're gonna lie to us or not, Ethan. Would you rather be attacked by a grizzly bear or a tiger?
A tiger. I might be able to survive a tiger. I don't think I could survive a grizzly bear. Those things are vicious.
Why do you think you could survive a tiger, Ethan? You
Uh,
think they would
it's,
get like bored or something?
it's a little bit smaller, and I mean, I'm pretty decent sized guy, but a grizzly bear is twice my size. It'll destroy me.
So we've had a lot of answers on that, right? So we've had guys that said one guy said he could outrun a grizzly bear. He is not telling the truth. He could not. One guy said he would climb a tree. That's foolish. They would climb the tree right with you and then knock you down, jump on you, and kill you. I think I would rather get attacked by a tiger too, because my hope is if I'm gonna die either way, I don't want it to be fast. I think like cats kind of like pounce on him. Maybe he'll just like do me a solid and just get it over with.
I'll say this, Randy. He's already, had no problem killing some tigers. Like, let's call it what it is.
Well,
I mean,
that's true. That is true. All right, man. And this is the last one and the one that all your friends are going to judge you on. And don't lie to us, man, because this is a truth serum right here. Would you rather betray your best friend? I'm talking about your homie, or go to jail for 5 years for a crime that you did not commit?
Definitely go to 5 years of jail.
All right, so you're big and you're young, but me, I'm not quite as athletic, not quite as young, not quite as handsome. But I'm not going to jail for Jim. Jim's my best friend. I'm not going to jail. A matter of fact, I'm snitching on Jim.
I would have done it when we were his age. I'm not going to jail for you. Period.
That's true.
Ethan, it's all fun and games until they close them bars, and then you realize where you're at for the next 5 years. I think you would change your mind.
And then I'm gonna be like, Mama.
Loyalty is a big thing, and I feel like that's a good trait to have. And I mean, I'll take the hit. 5 years. I mean, I'll be 25 coming out, 20 or not 25, like 24 coming out. I'll be fine.
Yeah, no, I'd be like in my mid 40s. It wouldn't be that cool for me. But you're right. Loyalty is a great trait. But all right, man, you're off the hot seat. But before you go, is there anything that you want to plug or promote?
Yeah, I'll plug my merch. I got a Cox by 90 merch. It's me in a Petry dish hitting a home run against LSU.
Oh man, Jim, I'll get that for you, dog.
Yeah, it's me in a Petry dish, and it says "Grow the Culture." So if you guys want to check that out,
no, I definitely will. I'm glad. Look, I don't want to see any shirts made after this weekend, Ethan, but no offense.
Yeah, I got you.
No, I'm just messing with you. But listen, if you want to check out what Ethan's doing, go on IG. It is Ethan.Petry. Or if you want to check out what South Carolina Gamecocks are doing, which you should, it's at Gamecock Baseball.
Yeah, so be on the lookout this weekend. Obviously, Randy's Vols starting tomorrow. Going to be heading to Columbia. Already there, actually, taking on the Gamecocks. Big time series for both teams. Everybody tune in. It's must-see TV. But we want to thank you, Ethan, for coming on. If there's anything we can do for you in the future, man, feel free to reach out to us.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys having me.
Absolutely. That's Ethan Petry, everyone. If you like hearing his story or you just like hearing Average Joe's talk X's and O's, please like and share on Facebook. Retweet us on Twitter. Listen and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and Anchor. Comments, ratings, and feedback are always welcome. We'll see everyone back Monday night as we talk to Wake Forest baseball stud Nick Kurtz. This has been the In Off the Bench podcast. And remember, strong bodies, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We are out.